There we go. We should have audio now. Let's see if I can't get back up on the roof. All right. I'm back. Let's see if we can get in this. This is a new roll of rubber roof. And they're a pain in the butt to get into. Got like teeth in the side of the things, so they're hard to get into. Come on. Make sure I don't get any metal shavings. Wow. This one's a little nuts. Usually you don't have to do this much. Wow. This is crazy. Oh, we're making some headway now. Maybe. I didn't want this to come out. Come on. Wow. I have never had one of these stick this bad before. Holy cow. All right. Get rid of that thing. I missed. Okay. Before I get going here, I do have to sweep this back off because I want to make sure that any little metal shard I may have gotten from doing that is not on the roof. Man, I started the heat in here this morning early. It's about 25 degrees outside. So the shop was about that temperature this morning. So I came in and started it early when I got here. And this shop is probably, I don't know how high these ceilings are. 20-foot ceilings. You walk in down below and it's like 50 degrees maybe, but you get up here near the ceiling, it gets warm. I may have to shed the hat and the sweatshirt. Okay. So, make sure we got the right stuff. Roof membrane. Get rid of this now too. Oh. So what we're trying to do here is I've got this new rubber roof membrane. And if you look down here, plug it here quick. We're on a camper roof, and this is the slide out roof right here. There was a bad leak, and it took out the roof of the slide. So I had to take and replace basically everything from back there. You can see this panel is a fresh panel, and then this is the old existing one here. Luckily that side was good. But so from about 8 feet in towards us here, all of that had to be replaced. Needed new framing and everything like that. So that's all done now. But now I got to glue the rubber roof, the new rubber roof, back down. So that's what I'm working on, is getting that rubber roof cut to size this morning. So I can get ready to brush on the glue. And that's where we are right now. And of course, everything you do, you got to be extremely careful, because we're on a rubber roof and we're working with a piece of rubber roof. So I want to make sure that I'm not stepping on anything sharp. I'm digging out knives and things like that, and be really careful you don't cut anything. Wouldn't be good dropping a knife or something on this, that's for sure. So these rolls come in 16-foot lengths, but I only need about 13.5 feet. So I've got to cut it down. The reason why I'm doing it up here on the roof is because down on the cement floor is about the dirtiest place I can do it. So up on the rubber roof is nice and clean. So I'm going to try to get it cut up here. Again, hopefully without stabbing a hole in the roof. So we're going to use some caution. There we go. This is a job I had actually started last fall. I ran into cold weather, so I wasn't able to finish it. So now, it's an early springtime job, but I'm kind of still running into the same issues with cold weather. It's hasn't been too bad here the last few days, but like I said, you got to get in and get the building warmed up, because you can't glue with it cold. All right, I'm gonna double check my measurements. 13. We'll do 3 extra inches on each side. So we want to cut this 13.6. So back up here. 13.6. Ah, just short. Rubber's not short. My space is short. I've got a little skylight down here that I got to kind of work around here too. There we are. Let's see if we can get that. So what's everybody else up to today? Anything exciting going on? Oops. There we go. 13.6. We're still right on that skylight. So I'm going to have to push that way some. It's definitely warming up here. There, that should get us what we need. All right, that's 14 feet there, so we gotta go back to 13.6. And I also have forgotten my T-square. It's not super important with these cuts to get them squared off, because I'm actually going to be taking and overhanging the edge of the slide a little bit. I'll show you guys here. So I'll actually take and overhang the slide, down a few inches, and then there's a piece of strap that goes here, and then I cut it off once I've got it on there and glued down. But I'm gonna square it off a little bit just to make sure we're not too far gone here. Wouldn't be good to cut a 16-foot or a 14-foot piece of rubber and find out that we're half an inch short. That would not be good at all. Stuff's expensive. But this should fix the problems. Unfortunately, the manufacturer did a pretty crappy job of the way they installed this. So we're going to install it a little bit better. Let's see here. Get you guys plugged back in. Let's see if I can't get this thing somewhat square. So 13, 6, double, triple check. Measure twice, cut once, right? Ouch. Inch. There, that should get us fairly square. So we'll zip that off. Whew, I'm getting warm. Luckily, this stuff cuts like butter with a nice sharp pair of scissors. I put that board underneath so I didn't accidentally poke the camper roof itself. That would be good. Okay, where are we now? I have to pull this tape and stuff off from here. So that will all come off. One more. There. There we go. Okay. We'll go down and start prepping the, I gotta lose my hat. It's getting warm. We'll go down and see if we can't start working on this over here. We're gonna start off by giving this a good sweep again. Wish this camera had a little bit wider angle than it does. It might if I was on my front camera, but on the back camera, I can't see the chats and see what's going on. Got some pine needles stuck to the glue here. Let's see if I can scrape a few of those off. A little smoother. It's always nerve-wracking doing this sometimes. You don't want to get to the end of a job and have the thing leak again or something. It's not fun. Okay. Pound down these high spots. There we go. Now you guys can see a little better. Just trying to get any of this loose stuff off. Get any of the high spots taken down. There we go. All right. Well, I think I'm going to check my fitment of my rubber before I start spreading glue. So we'll see if we can't back you guys up a little bit so we can see a little better. Maybe. Maybe not. All right, which side is? I'm actually going to flip this around. So I have my nice factory cut edge. On the outside. So we should have a couple inch overhang. And it's wider than it needs to be, but the inside actually kind of wraps up and over the inside fascia. So you got to be cautious about that and make sure we save plenty in there. So usually I'll just run it right in the room. So there we go. Flip it. Oh. This would be a lot easier with two people. That's all right. We can get it. Just takes a little bit of back and forth, that's all. Flat up on the edge. This does not want to roll over on me for some reason. Come on. Flip over on me. Boy. What pain. Thing's a mess here. There we go. We're getting closer now. Getting closer to where it needs to be. I like to get it to lay as flat as I can before I start doing anything to it. Get it as close to its last spot that it needs to be, and then we can roll this under once we get it glued. Just about like that. Grab my tape and make sure that I got a 3-inch overhang for what I measured. 3 1/4, which should be about, it should be close enough. What we have here. Yep, about 3 1/2, so we're actually a little long, so that's okay. That thing is leaking on me. To the trash. All right. Make sure we get all this stuff right out of the way so we're not stepping on screws. Okay. Let's see if we can't find some glue. I need to shed a sweatshirt now because it's getting even warmer up here. Woo. Moving around. There we go. So they make this special roofing glue specifically for these roofs. So that's what I'm using. Kid got beat up on me. Oh, you know what? I gotta grab a paint stick to get this stirred up a little. Oops, sorry, I'm not paying attention to the chats here. Oh, somebody just said hi. Hello. How is everyone doing today? Dust in here. Paint roller on. Gonna have to make sure the heat stays on for the rest of the day once I get this glued. But we gotta run down and grab us a paint stick. Maybe swing the ladder around. Let's try that. It's hard because you gotta plan ahead a little bit where you have to go on the next step, because if you don't have a ladder there, glue yourself into a corner or something. So we're gonna grab a paint stick to stir that up with. I think I can make it up there. Uh-oh. I guess it's stuck up there. And I've got the paper towels up there, so when I definitely spill it, I'll be able to clean it up. Grab a little board for set my glue on once I open it, because again, I make gigantic messes doing it. Rubber gloves. Almost forgot rubber gloves. That would have been fun, walking around having papers and stuff sticking to me like Clark Griswold. So we got rubber gloves. I think I'm going to move that second ladder over there too. That way I don't have to move the big ladder with it. All right. This little ladder's a little easier to move around. So we can glue down the front as we go. Now, as far as where I'm going to put you guys, so you can see, we're going to have to figure that part out. Okay. Glue up. Grab my paint sticker through here. Okay, I don't know why I've been dreading this job for a while. It's just not fun. Getting glue all over everything. But it's time. I gotta get this unit done. I've got 5 or 6 other units that that are waiting to get in. Some of them are fairly jobs. And at the moment, I'm the only one doing any work here. We're looking for another technician. So I need to get this done. We just sold a camper yesterday, which is awesome. But again, now I have to prep that unit. So that was a lot. Like I said, messes. Messes. Okay. Paint roller. That should be good. Now, where do I want to put you guys? Let's set you right down here, and I'm going to disappear here for a second, because I got to go down and get on the ladder on this end. We'll start brushing our way that way. I need to make sure that I'm keeping the rubber right where it needs to be, flat. And then later on, I'll actually take and trim up the ends. So for right now, what I do is where that's in place, Actually, I'll pull that back just a little. Luckily, this side, the old glue is gonna kind of help hold it into its place here a little bit. I'm gonna have to flip this side also. Go. All right, time to glue. So get some glue on here. I think we're definitely warm enough. I was worried about it this morning, but it's definitely warmed up in here, that's for sure. So we'll get this stuff gobbed right on here. This stuff I can actually take and peel this back just a little bit on the outside edges if I need to. Later on, because I'll have to take and cut around these trim pieces that are sticking up and everything. Okay. See if we can't move down a little bit. Disappear on you again. Right. There we go. Oh, whoops. You know what? I do need to, before I get too crazy here, I needed to tape my seam. There's this seam where my two pieces meet up. I need to make sure that I tape that. The only reason we tape that is just any sharp particles that may be in between the boards, and it kind of helps smooth the transition between one and the other. So we'll do that. Half there. And we flip it around, we'll do that. I'm also going to take, just to be on the safe side here, there. Duct tape's not cooperating. There we go. Nope. Sticks to my gloves. Down too far down on the edge. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that. That's going to be covered up anyway, so we'll just make sure we do that center seam, and we should be good there. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Working on a slide out roof this morning. I've been kind of dreading doing this project for a while, but it's time to do it. Time to get it done. We take off for the winter for a little bit. And I know it's weird. You take off and come back, and it's hard to get back into the work groove, you know what I mean? Taking that vacation mode is hard to turn off. Get back to work. Especially when you have a project that you're just kind of dreading when you come back to. It's not fun, but oh well, we're getting it done now. Messy, gooey. At least I got the real bad job done before I left and took off for the winter. I had a black tank valves that I had to do. That is about the worst job that you can do on a camper. It is not fun. Of course, The customer always said they're always empty. Yeah, drained them before I left. They're never empty. There's always some in it. Rule number 1 of RV tank, black tank removal. It's not empty. It's definitely not empty. I need a new guy. Get the new guy to do it. First day on the job. Here. Grab these gloves. Climb under that camper. Don't worry, it's empty. All right, so there's our glue. You can see I kind of just flipped it over, glued. Now I'm going to take and flip this back down over, line it up with my outside edge here, make sure it's nice and square. Then I'll take in reverse flip it, flip this side over what I've already glued, put glue down on this side, and then flip it down, make sure it's nice and flat, and then I can start tacking down around the outside edge of the slide. So let's see if I can get this up off from here and get these flush on the end. Sorry, can't see me very well. Kind of make sure that's even as I go down, if I can. You know, make sure there's no wrinkles as you go. Make sure there's nothing underneath. That glue takes a little while to dry. So if you end up feeling something that got stuck underneath, you can rip it up quick and pull it out. It's not like it's instantly glued there forever. So let's see if I can get you guys facing down the slide here a little bit more. I know this is an expert cinematography, that's for sure. But it's kind of hard when you're trying to glue, lay rubber, and move cameras all at the same time. Need a cameraman. Okay. Looks pretty good. Do this last little section down here. Grab you guys. We'll be able to flip it around and do the other side. I hate it just moving around, wiping my hands across things, grabbing a ladder and stuff. You get like black on your gloves, and it doesn't really matter, but like you have this nice white roof and then you go and like get a black sooty handprint on it. Just, I like it to look nice. Whew, okay. I'm gonna have to go turn the heat down. I'm actually warm in here doing this right now. So that looks nice and straight. Let's see if I can show you guys that. So we got it nice and flat with our outside edge, straight down through. You rebuild campers. I try not to rebuild campers. Unfortunately, I'm rebuilding campers. Yeah, so I work at an RV dealership in Maine. I don't know if you can see them out there. You can see a few campers outside. This is a customer's unit. They had a leak in the slide out. So I had to pull the rubber off the slide out roof, rebuild the whole slide roof, and now what I'm doing right at this moment is gluing the new piece of rubber back down to the roof. So that's kind of why I'm jumping around all over the place here. Because the glue doesn't dry super fast, but I need to be fairly quick with it. And see if we can't double this. There's our glue seam right there. So we'll go down on this end. And see if we can't fold this back on itself. I just got to get to that glue line. There we go. There's the glue. And finish this tape seam. Come on, stay there. There we go. Whoops. This tape seems to love to stick to my gloves and nothing else for some reason here. There we go. All right. We need some more glue. There, I got glue on my fingers. Now I got glue on my tripod. And I don't want to get too much glue. I don't like to dump it back in here. Oops. There we go. Okay. Ah, glue everywhere. Like I said, by the time I'm done this, I'm going to be Clark Griswolding it. There'll be stuff all over me. At least I can do this side without the ladders. And kind of a sucky part about this, though, is, let's see if I can flip you around. I got to get under this slide out seal. I don't want to get a bunch of glue on it either. Probably would have done good taping it, but there, just got a bunch on it right there. I don't have to wipe that off. This company does kind of a oddball technique of wrapping the seal up, the rubber up around the inside. So that's kind of going to be a little bit funky, but I don't need to actually get this glue all the way to the inside, because there's actually a piece of molding that goes in there. So that holds the edge down on the inside anyway. Let's see if we can't work our way back down this end. Oh, cool. Thank you. Thanks for the sub. I had a live going on Saturday, I think it was. And a lot of the stuff I like to do on my YouTube channel, it's like homesteading stuff, but I was kind of talking to some of the people on there. And obviously, homesteading isn't my full-time job. It's just kind of something I'm working towards a little bit. And So I can't do it full time. So I was asking some of the people that were on the live, like, you guys like watching camper stuff, camper rebuilds, seeing how stuff's done there. And there were a decent amount of people that said they wanted to. So I was like, all right, well luckily I can do that. So I figured I'd come on a little bit, check things out. So like, not all my videos are going to be, all my lives are going to be here. Some of them will be homesteading stuff too. But thanks for subscribing. Okay. Now, let's get this nice and flat with no bumps underneath it. That's what I'm looking for here. So far, so good. Seems like everything's pretty, I took and vacuumed it before I came on. Swept it, vacuumed it. So just trying to keep any little debris, any piece of debris out of there that I can off. So preparation is key to it. Okay, now kind of comes the tricky part. And I'm not sure how I can show you guys it. Let me see if I can flip down around. Let's see. I'm planning on getting an RV. Any recommendations? Yes, I do have recommendations. I'm not going to say specific brands, but what I can tell you, I guess some of it also depends on what you're going to be doing. Like RVing or RVing or like motorhome, van. Obviously, those are pretty different things, but I guess you got to know what you're doing with those. Sorry, I got to try to pop this corner in here real quick. Can't see. Okay, weekend trip. So the biggest thing with RVs that I tell people to watch out for, and a lot of dealers won't say anything about them. I don't know why. A lot of the real cheap campers, like you'll see a lot of them on the road that say like ultralight or something like that. Not every one of them, but I'm just saying this to check. So a lot of them that say ultralight or something like that, they'll have styrofoam floors. And I wish I had a piece in here to show you, because I cut a styrofoam floor out last fall. I had to cut a whole bathroom out. All it is let me grab a piece of Luan and show you. I don't know how much you know about plywoods and things, but let me see if I can't find a piece and show you. Of course, there's not going to be one right here. Well, anyway, there's one. All right. Sorry, disappeared. All right, so 1/4 inch Luan. So it's 1/4 inch. They put a 2-inch piece of styrofoam and then another piece of 1/4 inch Luan on the bottom. And they call that a floor. What happens, it's not too bad. Sorry, I kind of got to talk and get going here because the glue is drying up on me. It's not too bad if you're not going to use the camper a lot. It will last. But the problem is, if it gets wet, if you have a leak, a leaky faucet, a slide out leak, something like that, it's going to be, it travels extremely fast and it's extremely hard to fix. So if you're looking, the other issue with it too, like we've seen people where I am. There's not a whole lot of money, and people will actually buy campers to live in sometimes. And we've had those campers come in to have this, that, or another fixed. Even long-term, like seasonal campers, I've seen it in some too. So somebody that parks it at a campground and camps every single weekend, or sometimes some people will literally just like live in the things all summer long at a campground. So if you're traveling back and forth on that styrofoam, it compresses over time. I see it a lot of times when you take that first step into the camper, you can feel like you'll feel the floor is kind of squishy, and the floor is on its way out at that point. It'll travel. It keeps traveling and it gets worse and worse and worse. So the number one thing that I'd stay away from if you're looking into buying a camper, styrofoam floors. Just I'd look for something that that has decking. Most better brand campers are going to have 3/4, 5/8 decking, and it lasts a lot longer. Oh, my glue is starting to set up on me. I really need to concentrate on this for a second, because I got to get this laying nice and flat before that glue sets up. And I can see a couple of ripples happening down here in the center. So I'm going to try to smooth those out. That's my center seam. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera or not, but it's just kind of rippling up. I think it's the corner over here. Need to pull it a little tighter. Sometimes if you get too much glue on these, it'll create like a little bubble pocket. Sorry, I'm disappearing on you guys so much. Like I said, I just got to get this flattened out before that glue completely freezes up on me here. There we go. Yeah, I just have to pull it back this way. There. All right. That looks pretty good to me. There's a couple of little bubbles right in front of you. I'll work those out. There we go. Push those right off the edge. Hey, the worst part's done. Ugh. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. Some of the other stuff too to watch out for. A lot of it depends on what you're doing. So, like if you're looking at new campers, a lot of the new campers have 12-volt refrigerators, which can be good and bad all at once. So the 12-volt refrigerators, if you're going to be someplace where you're plugged in all the time, they're not bad. You're not going to notice anything different really. But it comes down to if you're going to be traveling, the biggest thing is like if you're going to be off boondocking somewhere out in the wilderness, you're going to want extra batteries. You're looking at used. Okay, even used. Sorry. They've had 12-volt refrigerators out for a couple of years, but I mean, if you're looking into the older, they probably had 12-volt refrigerators out a lot more, like 5 years and newer. So if you're looking at something a little older, there's not much to worry about. But the 12-volt refrigerators, they suck up some power. So if you're going to be off boondocking in the woods somewhere, you would definitely want more batteries and probably some solar, honestly, because they will, a normal like group 24 battery is kind of like a normal RV battery that we put on the RVs, and a 12-volt refrigerator will kill that battery in about 18 to 20 hours. So, whoops, and that's just using the refrigerator. If you're using lights and things like that, it makes it even worse. Going into the Clark Griswold zone here again. Glue everywhere, and of course I was dumb and pulled my gloves off first. Okay, can sealed up. Let's go see how it looks downstairs here. Here we go. All right. What do we think? How's it look? Like a brand new one? Honestly, the way that the manufacturer put this together, by the time I'm done with it, it's going to be better than a brand new one because, man, I don't know. The way they did this, they forgot butyl tape. I can show you guys what butyl tape is. So anytime we pull a window, door, any molding that goes on the side of a camper, basically, if it screws on, we use butyl tape. Let's see if I can get some out of this package now. I do not have some. So this is butyl tape. It's literally just putty. Just putty. Break it, stretch it. But that's what we use. So say you pull the window out. You pull a window out. It'll ruin, a lot of times there's foam gaskets behind it, but it most likely will ruin the foam gaskets. We'll put that on it. Awnings. You know, you got a screw, there's screws that go through into the camper. That stuff goes on it. And when they put the slide out, the outside fascia of the slide, which I'll grab and show you that, when they put it on, they didn't put any butyl tape underneath it. So this is the outside fascia, and it just screws down. It's hard to see on camera. There's a lip here. And it just screws down to the top. And then there's supposed to be butyl tape underneath it. And then they actually put it's like a white, you guys would know it kind of like Flex Seal tape. It's not actually Flex Seal tape. It's made for RVs. But that goes over the top of it. They put that on, but what happens is that stuff will bubble up where every screw is. And sometimes it can bubble up enough that it'll open up. Once it's opened up, the water goes in, down through the screw, takes out the entire slide. So when I put the outside fascia back on, I was getting all butyl tape underneath it, going down through the screws, brand new tape, all of that, because I don't want it to do what it did from the factory. Some of the stuff they do there, it's crazy. And I guess here's another tip. If you're still on here, what was it, George Home? Yeah, if you're still on here and you're looking for campers, if I'm being honest, I'd try to stay away from like 2020 to 2022. In the RV industry, they're actually called COVID campers. For whatever reason, I don't know. When 2020 came around, we actually thought we were going to have a bad year because everybody's wearing masks, nobody's traveling, la da 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 da. But it actually did the reverse of what we thought it was going to do. Everybody wanted to head to the woods. Nobody's in the woods, so everybody's taken off to the woods. So camper sales actually went nuts in 2020. So late 2020, 2021, even 2022, they actually like hired people out there that didn't really know what they were doing or hadn't been working around campers a long time. So some of the workmanship that came through in those 2 or 3 years it's not fun. I've been dealing with a lot of those campers recently. So, I mean, if you look through the camper and the camper is in decent shape still from 2020, you know, chances are, if anything was going to happen, it's already happened and either been fixed. But I don't think I would, if I was going to go out and look for a camper, I'd probably try to stay away from those years if I could. If I found a good deal on one and looked it over well, I might do it. But okay, so we're inside now. I'm just gonna kind of pull this a little tight, and I'll show you guys what I mean about how this fascia is kind of odd. I wish I had cut out for in here, but whoops, I don't want to poke. I didn't see those. We've got some little staples sticking up through down here. I really should have pulled those out. Just gotta be really careful. Are they attached to that trim? They are. Wonder. Yeah, I gotta pull this trim off quick, guys. Just bear with me. There's just these little staples that are popped up through, and I don't want to catch this and rip the rubber off. Come on. That one didn't come out with it. Whew. There we go. So yeah, the talking about 2020 campers, I'm standing inside a late 2020 camper right now. Like I said, slide out roof, that was bad. If you look back here, I'm doing some floor work because this wall here, gotta be careful I don't step on the floor. The trim up top on the outside had leaked, came down, took the paneling out on the inside, leaked down through the whole wall, and took out the floor too. Now, luckily, this was a plywood floor, like I was talking about earlier. If this was a styrofoam floor, I'd probably be pulling the entire bed, front cabinets, all that out, and having to lay down entire pieces of plywood over the top of what was existing. But this was plywood, so I was able to take and cut that old plywood out, cut it back to where it was no longer rotten and soft, and replace it with new. So that's just, yeah, 5 years old. I know. And trust me, this isn't the only one. I've dealt with the leaking drip edge on top. I'm pointing here, but it's outside. That leaking drip edge has been a really big problem in this specific model camper. I've been dealing with that an awful lot recently. Not recently. The past 3 years I've been dealing with it. And a lot of people, unfortunately, they won't notice it. You can kind of see paneling starting to ripple. But once the paneling starts to ripple, in behind it has started to go also. And it just gets worse if you don't pull it out. Glue all over myself. Let's work to keep, yes, there's definitely lots of work to keep me busy. Too much work. Looking for another tech here. It's hard because I'm in Maine and we're a small dealer. That's crippling up again on me. We're a small dealer And in order to get a tech that's interested or a tech that knows what they're doing to come in, not a lot of people want to move to Maine. So I kind of have to get someone that's kind of handy and start training them on what to do on stuff. So it makes it rather hard because I'm training and working at the same time. But we'll get there at some point. There. All right. That glue should set up and be dry there. And I think at this point, where that glue is all dry, I'm probably going to go in and grab some lunch. It's kind of a cloudy day here. There's some of the newer units that we have out front there. We've got 4 brand new units coming in. I think one's actually going to be here tomorrow, and then next week we've got a few more coming in. So it's going to be kind of cool going through those. Maybe I'll do a quick YouTube live showing those at some point. But yeah, so well, I'm getting hungry, guys, so I'm going to take off. Thanks for watching for a while. If you like this kind of stuff, like I said, I'll do some of the RV stuff when I'm down here, but it might be kind of random. I might be either on RVs or back at the homestead working on the homestead. So, but if you like this kind of stuff, subscribe, and we'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.